sun he did look up at the skies, and they're no longer gray. When I went to school, I didn't learn too much, but everything I need to know is coming down from the sun. Everything I need to know is coming down from above. Everything I need to know is coming down from the sun. Yesterday is history, yes. Tomorrow is a mystery. All we've got is today, so why not celebrate it? Laughing with some friends and maybe writing a song with your new pen. Whatever it is that brings you joy, just know it's our giving to you, for you, to you, for you. Everything I need to know is coming down from above. Everything I need to know is coming down from the sun. Lemonade in the daytime, ice cold is what I need. Maybe Coronas with a little lime, but we'll save that for the nighttime. All I wanted was to be free, and now that's all that I can be. Every day is a good day, and life's a beautiful bouquet of your favorite flowers. Just gotta take back what's ours. Everything I need to know is coming down from above. Everything I need to know is coming down from the sun. Everything I need to know, everything is everything I need to know, and everything I need to know is coming down from the sun.
So everything I need to know right here, right now, is that we are one with Spirit. That Spirit is ever present, is ever available to us, and is within each of us. And that is the place from which true happiness arises, from this connection with that one. And so right here, right now, I affirm for each one here, for each one watching on stream, for each one watching at a later time, that they come into a greater and greater awareness of that connection with that one loving source. Everything I know is that we are one. Everything I know is that we are love. And everything I know is that this is the place where true happiness resides. And so with deep gratitude and grace, I lovingly, joyfully, and expectantly release this word into law, knowing that it does unto me as I believe. And I invite you all to join me in saying, and so it is. Amen. Hallelujah. So welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Morristown, a vibrant community where love, joy, and inclusivity are at the heart of everything we do. Here we honor the unique journey of every soul, offering a place of healing, growth, and celebration. Together, we create an atmosphere of openness and love, where every person is seen, valued, and accepted just as they are. I'm Lori Carlson, and I'm a practitioner here at CSLM. Thank you for joining us, whether you are here in person, great to see you, or whether you are watching the live stream or checking us out at a later time. We are glad you are here. If this is your first time, we welcome you and invite you to get a welcome packet. You get a free book. Join our newsletter so you'll find out about future events. To all of you, we publish a weekly newsletter through Constant Contact, and if you're not on the list, please sign up so that you can get it, so that you can stay in touch. You can also visit our website, which is cslmorristown.org. So, that was the amazing Grayson Nierenberg blessing us with an original song. He will be back to bless us with more original music throughout today's celebration. The 2025 CSL theme is Rising Higher, Growing Deeper. The monthly theme for August is On the Wings of Love. And today, my topic is happiness, a practice rooted in love. So I'm going to be talking about that kind of happiness that we find not just from external circumstances when everything is going the way we want it, but from that deep understanding of our oneness with Spirit and the source of all love. So we're going to start the way we always start, which is with our Namaste practice. And since we're talking about happiness today, since I'm talking about happiness, I would like you to, Namaste means the divinity within me recognizes and honors the divinity within you. But so today we're going to tweak it a little, and we're going to say the happiness within me recognizes and draws forth the happiness within you. So put your hands together, turn to someone, and say, the happiness within me draws forth the happiness within you. The happiness within me draws forth the happiness within you. So how does that feel? Everybody feel a little happier? Do you feel it drawing forth? Are we pulling that happiness out of each other? So today, like I said, I'm going to be talking about something that we all desire, which is happiness, right? Which is often misunderstood, because we all think that happiness is based on circumstances and conditions, right? It's easy to be happy when everything is going our way, when it's a beautiful day out, when you feel healthy and everything's wonderful. But that's not the happiness that I'm talking about today. I'm not talking about the fleeting emotion or the reward of when things are going well. I'm talking about that deep inner connection with your authentic self, with your source, with love itself, with the practice of loving yourself and loving others, where happiness is a byproduct. Happiness is a byproduct of knowing and living from that place of spiritual alignment and that place of truth. When you are truly in flow of love for yourself and for others, it's hard not to be happy. Happiness just naturally happens. And when you are in that place, it is not dependent on external circumstances and conditions. And then when life happens, which it will, and things get tough, and you have a hurt knee, and you can't bike ride, or go for a hike, or you're suffering through grief, or illness, or loss, then you have a practice of connecting with that inner place of happiness. And you can find happiness even in tough times. And that's what I'm going to be talking about happiness as a practice, as a choice, as an awareness. Rumi says, love is the bridge between you and everything else. Between you and everything else. And in Science of Mind, we always say what? Love is all there is, right? We are all expressions of love. And when we recognize that and we feel that connectivity with others, and we recognize that love is that thing that connects us, it brings up this inner sense of happiness without you even trying. But it is a muscle, and it is something that you have to exercise and work on. There's 2 Science of Mind magazines left over there. But Science of Mind magazine this month is really great. The daily guides are by Dr. Reverend Michelle Medrano. And this is from Thursdays, but it says, it is a quote by Rumi, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it." So what have you built that is blocking your flow of love, that is stopping you from feeling that inner happiness, that inner connection? Because we all have those things, right? We all have those resentments, those criticisms, those feelings of less than, all those things that block us from really knowing, from really feeling that inner truth and that inner love and happiness. And it doesn't mean that we don't have problems. Look, I'm still hobbling. But it just means that even with those problems, that even with life, that we come back to that connection, that we come back to that truth and that heart of who and what we really are. And that's what our inner work is. Our inner work is to do whatever it takes to get rid of those blocks so that love can flow through us, so that we can be expressions of love and therefore feel that inner happiness. So, one of the things that is in the Science of Mind, she says, each day, a part of my spiritual practice is to take time to close my eyes, shut the world out, and feel that love that seeks fulfillment through me. So how many of you do that? How many of you take the time to close your eyes and feel the love? Okay, I see a few hands. Well, so I'm suggesting that this is a really simple and good way to connect, right? So to start your day with that intention. Most of you know that I have an affirmation practice that I do every morning. So I sit in intention and connect with spirit and choose my affirmation, and then I share it with a lot of people. But the idea is to start with an intention of choosing love, of choosing happiness. And how do we do that? We choose to become aware of our connection with the one love, with the presence, with spirit, even if it's just a few minutes of silent breath. Or maybe for you, it's a prayer, or maybe it's an affirmation, or maybe it's a beautiful song that lifts your spirit first thing in the morning. But I'm suggesting that you do this, and you do this connection as a daily practice before you do anything else, before you go on your phone, before you watch the news, before you worry about what the weather is outside. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing is just to take a breath and connect with Source. Connect with the love that you are. That sets you up for a day that is inviting happiness. That sets you up for a day that is inviting connection. Ernest Holmes says, "Let us waste no further time looking for the secret of success or the key to happiness. Already the door is open, and whoever will may enter." So it is already you. You don't have to look for it out there. You just have to spend the time and connect with it and invite it and allow it and receive it, right? You know, I always say I treat like this, right? So it's like allowing for that sense of oneness, that sense of love, that then just naturally brings up happiness, at least for me. Thich Nhat Hanh has this beautiful thing. It says, "Our notion about happiness entraps us. We forget that they are just ideas. Our idea of happiness can prevent us from actually being happy. We fail to see the opportunity for joy that is right in front of us when we are caught in a belief that happiness should take a particular form." Does that resonate with anybody? I mean, how many of you think you go, "Oh, I'll be happy when," or "I'd be happy if," right? Fill in the blank. "I'll be happy when I get this job. I'll be happy when my knee is better. I'll be happy if the day is beautiful. I'll be happy when my family starts acting the way I want them to." Whatever it is for you, that idea that happiness has to look a certain way, like Thich Nhat Hanh said, we fail to see the opportunity for joy that is right in front of us. So when you're expecting it to come only under these circumstances, then you're denying the possibility of it that exists right here, right now. So like I said, I'm struggling with a hurt knee. I couldn't ride my bike, I couldn't hike. But guess what? I did spend the time in extra prayer. I did spend the time talking to friends on the phone. I did choose to find the joy and the happiness in the conditions and circumstances that are mine, because Life happens. I didn't say, oh, I'm not going to be happy until my knee's better and I can go out on my bike. Of course, my doctor did tell me I could ride my bike, but just found that out. But I didn't wait for that. I didn't postpone my happiness until I felt better. Because I know that happiness is an inside job. What is it we say? As within, so without. Right. So happiness, joy, love, all of that, it starts within. And the more that you cultivate this, the more you can bring it to the world around you. And like I said, there are many ways to do this. Start with an intention in the morning, whether it's an affirmation or whatever. And then there's also the beautiful Buddhist practice of loving kindness and metta. How familiar are you with metta and loving kindness? Some of you. Okay, so metta, loving kindness in the Buddhist tradition, is sending the blessing that you wish for yourself to others. So you send it out to, in formal practice, you send it to yourself, to someone you love, to a neutral person, to someone you struggle with, and then to the world at large. But the idea is that you are wishing for others that which you wish for yourself, in recognition of the fact that all people want happiness. And so it is a practice that builds a muscle of being able to wish happiness for others. And I don't know about you, but there is nothing that makes me happier than seeing other people be happy. Wasn't always that way. I have very personal experience with the loving kindness meditation. A lot of you know I used to be a waitress at Friendly's, and every day before I went to work, I would put on my uniform and sit and put on my spiritual garment. I would sit and do loving kindness meditation for my coworkers, because they drove me crazy. Because they were so negative, they were backbiting and gossiping, and you walked away, and it was just a really toxic environment. So I would come home like just depleted and drained and like, oh my God, I can't believe. And so I was new on a spiritual journey, I was new in recovery, and I learned about loving kindness. And so I would sit, and just like I had to put on my uniform to go to work, I would sit and I would do my loving kindness, and I would send blessings to my coworkers, wishing for them what I wished for myself, which was a good day, right? Abundance, ease of interactions with customers, happiness, health, vitality, all the things I wanted for myself, I wished for them. And guess what? I don't know if it affected them, but it changed my interactions with them. It changed me, and it changed my experience dramatically. On the days that I did that, I had better tips, I had better energy, I had ease of interactions with my coworkers. They didn't drive me crazy. Like, everything flowed better. And on those days when I was rushed and thought, oh, I don't have time to do this today, so I'm just gonna skip it this morning, I felt it. Everything was, everything was like sort of out of sync, and everybody would drive me crazy, and and I wouldn't make that much money, and the difference was really dramatic. So I know the power of wishing well for others. I know the power of doing the practice. Because let me tell you, there were a lot of days when I didn't mean it. Like, I didn't feel it. I would just like, oh God, yeah, right, okay, I wish her happiness. But I did the practice. I sat and I did it. And it's not about faking it. We have this expression in AA, fake it till you make it. But it was about doing the practice, even when I didn't really deeply feel it, because it's building the muscle, right? And just like anything else, the more you do it, the easier it gets, and the more authentic it feels. So even on those days when it didn't feel authentic, I still did it. And guess what? Even on those days, it was better. It was a better day for having just done the practice. So I know the power of using those muscles, of doing the practice. And what's Lori's mantra? Daily practices, right? What are you doing on a daily basis? That's what changes your life. That's what changes your experience. So you can do this in a way that is sitting and sending blessings to people before you go to work or before you go to a family gathering. Could you imagine? You struggle with family gatherings? Sit and send each one metta before you go. I guarantee you will have a different experience than if you don't. But there are also other simple little ways to use metta. I have a friend from one of my Buddhist groups that has a post-it note on the inside of his door, his front door. He has a post-it note, and it just has the metta phrases. Just really simply, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be filled with loving kindness. There's all different phrases you can use. But he has it right on his door, so as he walks out the door, he's reminded of it. And then he walks through the hallway into the elevator, and he sends that blessing to everyone he meets. And on the street and in his car, and he remembers, right? So I'm like, oh my God, why don't I have that post-it note on my door? But the idea is that you can simply send that energy in a few words in your mind to each person you pass. Could you imagine what kind of a world we would be living in if everyone did this? If you sent blessings to everyone you passed. Not out loud, I mean, you're not like saying, oh, may you be happy. Just in your mind, you're sending that energy. Thich Nhat Hanh has a beautiful walking meditation where he says you visualize planting flowers with each step. And I like to think of metta that way, like that you're just planting flowers around all the people that you're blessing. And that, to me, is like what a world we could have, right? And so, one of the things that is another way to bring up happiness and to be kind in the world is to let go of judgment. How many people here struggle with judgment? So instead of walking past that person and going, look what she's wearing, or who does he think he is, or like, why are they walking so slow? I got to get around them, or whatever it is that you're thinking. Instead of that judgment, what if you could send a blessing? What if you just would let go of that judgment and send a blessing? May you be happy. May you be safe. May you have ease in your life. May you, there are so many phrases you can use, and what I suggest is that you choose ones that are meaningful for you. Because in my early recovery, I used different phrases than I use now. But I really like, may you be free from suffering. May you have ease in your life. And of course, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. Because those are like basic needs, right? So we can do that, and we can radiate that energy out into the world. And what we put out into the world comes back to us multiplied abundantly, right? Reverend Michelle Wadley always likes to say, there is no private good. And I love that, because when we bless others, we bless ourselves. Because it goes out into the one mind, it goes out into the universal consciousness, and it comes back to us. And that is really important to remember, that we are interconnected. Thich Nhat Hanh also says, happiness is not an individual matter. It has the nature of interbeing. When you are able to make one friend smile, her happiness will nourish you also. When you find ways to peace, joy, and happiness, you do it for everyone. Begin by nourishing yourself with joyful feelings. So, I always share my happiness. I go to an AA meeting every morning, and I always share my joys. It's like, they're like, okay, it's Monday morning, here we got to hear about Lori's Sacred Sunday. But I like to share my joy, because I wasn't always a joyful person. 11 years ago, when I was in the beginning of recovery, nobody wanted to know me because I was so negative. And I was so miserable, and it was just a downer of an energy. So now I kind of like make it my mission to try to be uplifting, to try to be in that flow of love and happiness so that I can bring that energy to everyone around me. And it doesn't mean I deny the circumstances. It doesn't mean la, 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 everything's great. It just means that instead of looking at the negative, I try to find the good. It just means that I acknowledge that there is what's going on in the world is going on in the world, but what can I do? I can try to bring joy to one person. Thich Nhat Hanh has this beautiful, I know there's a lot of Thich Nhat Hanh today. He has this beautiful thing where he says, try to live in a way that encourages deep happiness in yourself and others. I vow to bring joy to one person in the morning and to help relieve the suffering of one person in the afternoon. How can you do this? Ask yourself, who can I make smile this morning? This is the art of creating happiness. This is the art of creating happiness. Who can I make smile? Whose suffering can I relieve? That is how we get to show up in the world, and that is what is our job to do, right? I know I've shared this here before, but I'm a racktivist. Anybody know what that is? That's a random act of kindness activist. I'm a registered one. I have a card and everything. So it means that you spend time doing random acts of kindness for people you don't know, anonymously, just for the purpose of spreading joy. Just for the purpose of spreading that happiness a little bit, right? Kindness. What is it the Dalai Lama said? My religion is kindness, right? Kindness is where all happiness originates from. When you are kind to yourself and to others, you can't help but be happy. I don't know about you, but that's what really fills my soul. And speaking of which, then there's something in Buddhism called sympathetic joy. Anybody ever hear of that? It's called mudita, sympathetic joy. And this is a practice, but it is finding happiness in the happiness of others, even when you are not experiencing it yourself. Anybody struggle with that? I know we live in a world that is very competitive, where it's us against them, where it's if you have it, I don't. And let me tell you, working as a waitress, it's like, okay, the first time somebody gets a really good table with a really good tip, the first thing I used to think was, why wasn't that my table? God damn it, that should have been me, right? And so I practiced this. I practiced it. It was a muscle. I tried, and let me tell you, it wasn't easy. But I remember, I almost get goosebumps thinking about it. I remember the first time that I authentically felt that way. One of my coworkers got like a $150 tip on a small table. It was like this amazing thing. And I was genuinely just happy for her. And I didn't think, oh, why wasn't it me? I didn't think, oh, like now they're, I was just happy for her. And let me tell you, that feeling of happiness, of just reveling in someone else's good, there's nothing like that. I don't think I would have felt as good if I had gotten that tip as I felt because I was able to be happy for her. That is a powerful thing. But like I said, it's not easy. It's something you have to practice. It's a muscle that you have to come back to and remind ourselves. Reverend Frankie used to always say, it's a dance, right? We remember, we forget. We remember, we forget. Well, this is about remembering to do the daily practices that will bring you into alignment with love so you can show up as an expression of love and share love so that you can be happy yourself and bring happiness to the world. Another way that I have found that brings me happiness, or that I have used letting go to bring happiness, is in letting go of things. Okay, we live in a culture that's very material oriented, right? And a lot of people think, oh, I'll be happy if I get that new car, if I get that, I'll be happy, or if I get that. What about, I'll be happy when I let go of this. I am happy by letting go of this. So I have been in my life, thanks to my moves and my addiction and my story, my history, I have had to get rid or let go of things several times in my life. Things that I collected, things that meant something to me, things that I thought defined me and I was invested in, and I had to walk away. But I have a sponsor who gave me a really great way to do that. And that was that she said to envision the strings of connection between you and the object. So I used to collect vintage cookie jars and, like vintage clothes and all this stuff. And I was really emotionally attached to them. And so she said, to see the strings of attachment, use the side of your hand like a blade and chop the strings and send it off with a blessing. And visualize the joy that it will bring to the next person who has it. And let me tell you, that really worked for me, continues to work for me. I don't like to let go of, I'm not good at decluttering and stuff, but when I can say, oh yeah, this made me happy. It no longer serves me, but it will make someone else happy. And one of the experiences that I had was when my parents went into assisted living, we had an estate sale and I saw people taking things, that were my things, that were my little statues and my little meaningful things. But I had the blessing of being able to see them, like for $1, get this great thing, right? And I saw the happiness on their faces. I saw that it was going to bring them joy. I saw that they were like, oh my God, this is such a great deal. Look at this cool thing. And so I internalized that. And now whenever I need to get rid of something or whenever I'm giving something away, I remember that. I remember that smile. I remember that joy that other person felt. And that makes me happy. And that allows for me to let go with ease, with grace, with gratitude. Because gratitude is a causative energy, right? And everything you are grateful for brings you more things to be grateful for. So when I let go with gratitude for the joy that it brought me, knowing that it goes out to bring someone else joy, the happiness that brings, and then the space that creates for something new. Because as long as you're holding on to everything, you're not creating space for something new. But when you let go with blessing, with metta, with joy, with gratitude, you're inviting in another whole way to be happy. You're inviting in happiness in ways you haven't even yet thought of, right? That are not dependent on your circumstances or conditions. Because here's something I know for sure. You can't control your circumstances and conditions all the time. There are certain things you can do. I can take care of my knee. There are certain things you can do to take care of your well-being, to, feed yourself and do what you need to do in the world. But you cannot control everything. So if you're going to allow your happiness to be dependent on those outside things, you are always going to be miserable. That is the very definition of suffering. According to Buddhism, that is the definition of suffering. Clinging to the way you want things to be. Because you can't always change them. But when you come back into alignment and remember that true happiness comes from within. True happiness comes from acknowledging that you are one with the divine love. That you have access to this love, and that you are in the unique position to share it, to be an expression of love in the world, to uplift others who don't quite understand that, to share your happiness in a way that spreads it, because there is no private good, right? What blesses one, blesses all. We are interconnected. And so when you do something, even when you do something good for yourself, when you fill your own cup, it spills over to others. So that's all the more reason to do those things that fill you, that fill your spirit, whether it's prayer, meditation, music, art, creativity, dancing, walks in nature, whatever it is, fill your own cup. Because from that place, you have it to spill over to others. You can't give away what you don't have. So just remember that it's always a daily practice. It is a choice. It is a choice to align with love. It is a choice to be happy. It is a practice and a muscle that you can work on, but it is first and foremost a choice. And isn't that what the spiritual journey is all about? Making a choice, acknowledging that we have the power to do that, right? We are one with this divine source, but we are autonomous. We have free will, and we get to choose. So you can choose to focus on the negativity and be miserable, or you can choose to align with love, to show up as love, and to be a force of happiness. Remember, it always comes down to kindness, to compassion, to gratitude, to choice, and to practice. And if you do that and you remember, so all right, right now, right here, I want you to all repeat after me. Today I choose happiness.
Today I choose happiness.
Today I show up as love.
Today I show up as love.
Today I celebrate my divine connection.
Today I celebrate my divine connection.
Today I share that with the world around me.
Today I share that with the world around me.
So when we remember that, when we are willing to do our inner work and get rid of all those blocks that keep us from recognizing our love, our loving presence, our oneness with divinity, so that we can feel happiness and share happiness and enjoy the happiness of others. Just think, if you can really be happy for someone else's happiness, you have an infinite source of happiness. You will never run out of reasons. How many people are there in the world? You will never run out of ways and means to be happy if you can open yourself to be happy for the happiness of others. So do your inner work. Remember that happiness is not something we chase outside of ourselves. It is something we create moment by moment by connecting with our inner self, with our true, authentic self, with generosity, with trust, with love, with faith, and with practice. We can make love visible in ways big and small. And for me, and I hope for all of you, that is the true way to happiness. Because happiness is an inside job, but when we live it, it becomes an outside blessing for everyone. And so, speaking of happiness, now we're going to have another beautiful song by Grayson Nierenberg.
So this song is called Glimmer. It's the opposite of a trigger. So it's finding things that shine and make you smile instead of things that bring you down. So this is about that. I see the glimmer in your eyes. I know that it's no disguise. I see you shining so bright, glowing like an LED light. I know it hasn't always been this way, and I trust when I hear you say you're trying your best to be here now and give what comes around. One smile can pass the joy around. One kind word can change someone's world. You just need to look out for the things that make you smile. Everything will be brighter for a while.
So now I'm going to lead you in a short, you're going to stay and do the meditation.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to lead you in a short metta practice. So I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so, and to just take a breath and settle into your body. Feel your seat on the chair and your feet on the floor. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears and just relax into this moment, right here, right now. And so as you take the next breath, I invite you to breathe into your heart space, to see that breath as a white light coming into your heart and filling your heart. This light is the light of metta. It is the light of the blessing of loving kindness. So I invite you to just allow that feeling of love to fill your being. And then from that place, from that heart of love, we're going to send the metta phrases. Just repeat them silently in your head. And first we're going to send them to ourselves, because we can't give what we don't have. So we always start with the practice of sending it to ourselves. So just gently say in the back of your mind, may I be happy. May I be safe. May I be free from suffering. May I live with ease. Take a breath. And now we're going to direct that same blessing outward. So picture the people you love. Picture the people right here in this community, the people around you. And just send out that energy. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be free from suffering. May you live with ease. Just take a few breaths and really notice how it feels in your body when you send that intention, when you send that blessing out. All right, and now we're going to move on to a neutral person. So think of someone you don't even really know. Maybe it's the cashier at your grocery store, or somebody you walk by in your neighborhood. Somebody that's just vaguely familiar, but that you have no real feelings about one way or the other. And now we're going to send them those same blessings. So with their image in your mind, send this. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be free from suffering. May you live with ease. Take a breath. And now, having built our muscle a little with ourselves and those we love and those we have no real feelings about, we're going to do what's a little more difficult and send that love to someone we struggle with, to someone we don't like, or someone we don't agree with. Doesn't have to be the major antipathy in your life, but just someone you struggle with. Picture them. And now, really working that muscle of loving kindness. See them and send them blessing. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be free from suffering. May you live with ease. Take a few breaths here. I know that's a hard one. And try to feel how it feels in your heart. Even if it didn't feel very authentic to send that to someone you're struggling with. Know that you are growing that muscle, that you are expanding your ability to be loving and therefore to be happy. And then the final round of blessings we send to all beings. So all beings everywhere. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings live with ease. Take a few breaths. I know that's a pretty tall order to even imagine. But just know that it is your heart you are expanding. You are sending that energy out, but it is you who is benefiting the most. And so as you breathe into this more open heart, this heart of love, this heart that will allow you to experience more happiness as you wish others well. Let's end it with a moment of gratitude for this practice, for this heart of love, and for who we get to be in the world today. So simply say thank you to yourself, to one another, to Spirit, and to all beings. And then, when you are ready, you can slowly open your eyes and return to the room. Hopefully your hearts have been expanded, your ability to experience happiness has grown, and you are more in the flow of divine abundance. And so it is time for our conscious giving. So I'm going to pass the basket. I'm also passing the social hour list. So you can sign up for a social hour. You can give in the basket with an envelope. You can give with our Venmo and PayPal codes over there. You can give by hitting the donate button on our website, which is how I give. So there are many ways to give. You can give by bringing people, bringing friends with you to celebration on Sunday to grow our community. You can give in all kinds of ways. You can give by showing up and being of service, by volunteering, by spreading happiness, by aligning yourself with love. All of those things are ways to give, because when you give, you receive. We are in the flow of giving and receiving an abundant love. And so I invite you to, I don't know where the basket is, but I invite you to all just place a hand over your heart and to repeat this affirmation with me. My gift goes forth to bless with abundance, happiness and joy, everyone around me. I am grateful to give. And I know that my gratitude comes back to me. Multiplied abundantly. As good and greater good. As happiness. And so it is. All right. So, let's see. I have a couple of announcements. Next week, Susan Mead from Princeton will be speaking, and Andrew Dunn will be providing the music. Thank you for everyone who contributed to today's potluck. We will have social hour in the social hour room after service. We have some great things coming up. So on September 7th, we have a sound bath with the amazing Kat Roman. Sign up on Breeze, get your spot. It fills up. There's only so many, so don't miss it. I already got my spot. So I encourage you all to sign up for that early. Then, coming up in August, we have on Sunday, August 24th and Monday, August 25th, we have Armand and Angelina. And they are doing the Sunday celebration called Getting High on God. Then they are doing a native flute workshop after celebration at 1 o'clock. And then on Monday night, they are doing a musical variety show, which I went to the last time they were here, and I never laughed so hard in my life. It was so much fun. So I hope that you will consider joining us, coming to this. And you have to sign up on Breeze. Get your spots now and come back and see them because they're going to be amazing. So that is all the announcements, and I apologize to Grayson because I did the talk and we skipped a song, but we are honored to welcome Anna, who is going to lead us in a song that we're all going to participate in as our closing. So how better to demonstrate happiness and our ability to be in the flow of happiness than to welcome another member of the community who is going to share her gift with us. So, Anna, I'll leave it to you. Oh, wait, first, sorry. Let's do the closing treatment first. So we always end with a spiritual mind treatment, which is our word for affirmative prayer. So that way we can just, like, rock and roll into the song. So I invite you all to close your eyes and to hear these words as if they were your own. And so right here, right now, in this breath, I connect with that divine source of love that is who I am. That ever-present loving source that demonstrates itself in, as, and through my very being. I know that this is the truth of who I am. And so I gratefully share this with everyone around me. I do my daily practices to align myself with that truth so that I can share my happiness, so that I can be happy independent of circumstances and conditions, so that I can show up as love and as happiness for others. Today, I bless everyone I encounter with this greater understanding of who and what I am and how I get to show up in the world. And I am grateful for this beautiful community that knows this all together, that knows that happiness is an interbeing and interconnected field, and that we get to be happy together. We get to show up for one another, to join in beautiful song together, to join in prayer together, and to glorify the truth of who and what we are, which is love in action. And so when we show up as this loving presence, not only do we get to experience happiness, but we get to bring it to others. And so with deep gratitude and grace, with joyful expectation, I release this word into that ever-present and loving law that responds to my word, to my belief, to my faith. And so I simply let it go, knowing that it is already done. And I invite you all to join me in saying, and so it is, amen, hallelujah. Thank you, Anna.
All right. This is a Karen Drucker song, and one of my favorites. And it's called Lighten Up. And it's really about us not being so hard on ourselves. I think with social media, it's gotten exponentially harder. So it's audience participation. Hopefully I'll remember to put the sign up every time. But so in the chorus, it says, lighten up. So that's what you guys are going to say. Let's practice. Ready? Lighten up. Okay. All right. So let me make sure everything is working here. Okay. Ready? I was walking down the street, I was feeling mighty fine, till I caught a glimpse in the window of my behind. There was a jiggle and a wiggle that I'd never seen before. And as I looked a little closer, oh my God, I found more. I freaked out and I shrieked out, well, this has just ruined my day. When I heard a voice inside me say, lighten up. Don't take it so seriously. Lighten up. Trust the mystery. Lighten up. Anyway, just enjoy your life. Get out of your way. Lighten up. So I'm headed to a party to meet my friends. I've got an outfit that's to die for. Honey, I am just the living end. But as I scope out the scene, it's obvious to me that the money at this party, well, it's simply obscene. Because they're talking about their mansions and their yachts and dropping names. And in an instant I feel unworthy, small and ashamed. But as I try to make a beeline, slip out the back door, I hear a voice inside of me say once more, lighten up. Don't take it so seriously. Lighten up. Trust the mystery. Lighten up. It doesn't matter anyway, just enjoy your life. Get out of your way. Lighten up. Worried and judging, what good does it do when you compare yourself to me and I compare myself to you? This disease to please has just got to go. When I love myself, that's all I need to know. Now I'm looking in the mirror, a new wrinkle has appeared. Do I curse? Do I stress? It's the thing I most fear. But then I remember my new mantra, and I soon realize that I am perfect, even with wrinkles and cellulite. I have to change a thing. Struggle or try, 'cause my real beauty comes from deep inside. Lighten up! Don't take it so seriously. Lighten up! Trust the mystery. Lighten up! It doesn't matter anyway.